Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another Friday recap. Just give me a few moments while I send that link out to the community. We had a big rally this week. It's crazy. Kind of expecting a drop, but it's all good. We shall go over it. All right, so. All right, cool. So, 1 second while I share my screen as well. All right, bet. Cool. All right, cool. So yeah, like I said, my pairs that I was hoping that would have dropped at my point of interest did not drop at all. We had a big rally this week. All right, so let's go over some entries you guys could have got into for your buys. All right, let's go over GU first. And of course, if you guys have any questions about my pairs and what I'm looking for, comment below. And also, if you have any pairs you guys want me to go over as well, you can comment below as well. All right, so yeah, let's just start on Sunday. All right. So yeah, I was planning. Let me get my path real quick. So I was planning for price to actually react to this mid level right here. It broke through it and then reacted to it. All right. And then I wanted it to hesitate and tank from this this area right here, this 1.3600 level. All right. The reason being is scroll out real quick. It was a strong resistance point. I'm gonna show you. So as you can see right here, one. All right. Two very strong resistance times. So over here tanked and then a gap occurred right after that week, came back up, same level, and then tanked again. All right. It made a higher high and then broke through. Okay, came back up to this 1.36 level and then came back down, and then it was used as a resistance for the trend, for the downtrend. All right. So all right, when it came back up, I was hoping for it to hesitate and then wick out like these. All right, but then it just broke right through. That was because of strength. All right, so JPY and USD did not have a lot of strength this week. All right, I don't know if it's because of the inauguration or whatever, but JPY and USD was very, very weak. All right, so no matter what, if the currency is weak and if the back currency is weak, like let's say we're trading GBP USD right now. All right, if USD is weak and GBP is strong, it's gonna push price all the way up, no matter what. All right, so you just gotta be very, very, very careful when you're trading. So if you go to your tools section, all right, we actually have a heat map that tells you the strength of each pair. All right, maybe I went too fast. Hold on. So this is what I did. So went to the home screen, tools right there, heat map. Tells you right here. All right. So it was like this all week. GBP, USD was bloody red all week, and then JPY was bloody red all week as well. All right. So that being said, it was actually green in the beginning of the week, but right now it's going for sells is red. But the way you read this is GBP is first, so it's going to be on the left, and then USD is second, so it's going to be on the top. So as you come across and me in the middle, you're going to find your percentage and the color, and the negativity is going to that's going to be affecting that pair. So if it's negative and red, that means it's going to be pulling the price down, and if it's green and positive, it would be pushing price up, right? So right now, GBP USD and JPY, new GBP USD and GBP JPY is negative right now. So that means price is pulling down, right? So in the beginning of the week, price was green, right? The percentage was green and was very high. So that means USD was down and GBP was up, all right? So that's what caused this push right here, all right? And it didn't make the perfect high highs or high low, so it was very difficult to get in this trade, right? But if you realized, like right here, this could have been your first, you could have entered right there. I wouldn't have, because it still was making lower lows and lower highs, but that was just the start of it. So let's just go deeper into this. Like, so for something like this, I would have probably used a 5-minute, because on a 15, as low the time frame is, it's not really as clear as a 5-minute. So if I go on a 5-minute, all right, you should see more lower lows and lower highs clearer. All right, so go back to the same spot. So even right here, I expected the same too, but price was not having it. So it just kept pushing up, right? So it came down, made lower lows and lower highs, came back up, right? So this could have been, a little zone, not to buy at, but just, pay attention to, because it kind of broke up. So it broke up, gigantic candle broke up, right? Did not make a lower low. I mean, it didn't make a lower high, right? So it came back up. This high was higher than this high, came back down, we tested it as support, and then came back up again, right? It kind of did a little double top right here. That's why it dipped a little bit. But right here, what time was this too? This was during New York session. So this is on Monday. We're in Mondays now. So Sunday we couldn't gotten an entry. If you wanted to get an entry for a sell, this was probably the best place to do it, right on this double top, right? But it went down a little bit and then came back up. So it didn't really, have that big push down like it should have been, all right? So when it came back down, this was around London session. New York session. 3 wicks on the 5-minute. Let's check what the 15-minute said. 2 wicks, okay. Made a lower high. I made a higher low, higher than this low. And then price pushed up, broke through the mid-level, came back down and retested it on the 5-minute. Let's just see what it looks like on the 5-minute. So as we came up, it was consolidating on the mid-level, all right? So when it came up, consolidated on the mid-level, and then price pushed up during the very beginning of New York session. All right. So if you was at your charts and you saw that USD was weak and then GBP was strong, this would have been a good time to place your trade. All right. Stop loss would have been entered around here. Stop loss would have been, I would have put it at 35400. That's about 10 pips. And I will take it to the next level or the next consolidation point that I see over here. So you could have had it over here or just next level at 1.3600, a big resistance zone. So for me, I always take it to level, zone to zone. So this is about 50 pips, mid-level to major level, 50 pips, and then a 10 pip stop loss. All right. And as you can see, price pushed up and then it hit our TP at the late London session. Beginning of London session, late Asia session. All right, so this took a while to push up. I probably would have took profit right around here when the market closed at 12, but nonetheless, USD was still weak during that time, and it still broke up, and it made high lows and still broke up to the major level, and that was our TP. Right, so I could have did one or two things. I could have either took profit like I did, or I could have moved my stop loss into profit or break even. All right, so once I saw price push up, right, I could have took my stop loss and then moved it here. So if it came down, right, I would have got knocked out with no loss. All right. And I could have put it high. Could have put it to profit as well. So I could have put it all the way up here. Like as it kept making high highs, high lows, to track it. And then big push up. My stop loss was here. Could have had it right there. I even want that. Hold on. My stop loss right there as it keeps pushing up. All right. Kept pushing up. I would have put my stop loss right there. And then I probably would have left it right there. All right. So you could either move your stop loss into break even, move your stop loss into profit, or just take your profit as a whole. I just rather take my profit because around Asian session, it tends to fade down, right, in normal circumstances. And then reset for the London session next day. So I had a good, I think 30, 20 pips. What time? Yeah, about 30 pips. So not too bad for Monday. All right. Could have left it, could have got my 50 pips, but it's all good. All right. So when price was hanging around here at 136, I could have sworn, I was trying to find sells, entries for sells, but it was just hovering right above the major level. So I was thinking it was going to keep pushing up. Right. So during this night, like price was too volatile for me. So I don't think I entered on a Tuesday. Yeah, I didn't really enter. I think I went to sleep, so I just gave up. But if you guys were still awake, you could still find entries for you guys. I don't even think. Yeah, hold on. This could have been a zone. It just had a big wick, right? Because this was our last higher low. Okay, so when it comes back down, it can retest this higher low or just retest this major level. So it was just retesting this major level, broke down, came back to test its higher low, and then it broke back up. So what time was this? This was at 2:15. See on my lower time frame if you got some easier entries. Because on the 15 it's kind of hard to predict wick. So hop on the 15. Hop on the 5, and then you can see better entries. So right here. Yeah, even this is kind of choppy. So yeah, I don't think you guys would have saw this either. So it's all good, right? I expected it to go under the 1.36 level and then just tank. But price was just too volatile. So I just, I didn't enter that day. And then price just really just pushed up. So it's all good. We didn't lose money, so I'm not mad about it. All right. So when it came here, it didn't quite touch that mid level, right? Let's go on to 15 real quick. So when it came back up, it came shy of the mid level. Okay, that would have been like a TP1 for you guys if you guys would have entered around here. So it came shy. It didn't really touch it. So you guys probably would have got knocked out if you moved your SL into break even, if you was waiting for that mid level to be hit, right? Or if you took profit, you would have had about 45 pips. All right. So this is the pullback. That was bound to happen. Like price was kept pushing up. We had to expect a pullback at some point, right? We didn't have really clean pullbacks going up to the upside. We only had like higher highs and higher lows. But this was a pullback / counter trend. So let's see what exactly happened real quick. Maybe you can use a fib to see. Hop on the higher time frame. Trying to see what caused this hesitation to just drop like that. Yeah, it was just wicking at this point, so it just made its own resistance right here. So let's dumb it down. All right. So yeah, you guys would have probably got knocked out if you wasn't entering here, right? If you did enter a Vercel, I personally wouldn't, but if you did, this is a way you could have entered, right? As you can see, it kept bouncing up and down, so it was a little range. Say it's a little range, right? So as soon as you see like prices just bouncing up and down, you can wait for a breakout or a higher low. All right, to get for a sell. Okay. So as you can see, came to the bottom of the range, came to the top, stopped, hesitated, consolidated, came down. Now normally in a range, it's just gonna keep shooting up and keep shooting down. But in this case, it made a higher low. I mean, it made a lower high. Sorry, use these two words all the time or four words. But but yeah, so it came down, made a lower high, right? And then it failed to make a higher high, or it failed to even come back to this range, to the top of the range. So you could have had your entry right here. Let me just delete this box real quick. So this would have been a nice entry right here. And this was around Asian session too, late Asian session. So this was a perfect time to enter. All right. So take a short position right there. Okay. Normally, like this would have been a difficult risk to reward ratio. All right. Normally you would have put your stop loss over here from the last lower high. All right. So this would have been 20 pips. It's not bad, but I usually go for 10 or 5 pips. So it's up to you. Like you can come to the bottom of this consolidation zone, right? And that's 10 pips, or you can just go and make it safe and have your stop loss at 20 pips on the top of the last lower high. All right. So for me, I'm gonna put it at 10 pips. All right, enter right there. So since this was around this major level of 1.36, 1.3700, right? I would have took it down all the way to the next level of 1.36. So what day was this? This was yesterday, right? So we didn't have an entry on Tuesday nor Wednesday. So on Thursday, right, you were back at it. If you saw this lower high, I personally saw it and I took it. I was gonna take it all the way down, but I saw price did all this, and I just got out right around here. But I'll go over that real quick with you guys right now. All right. So Thursday going to Friday on London session. Okay, last lower high broke down. Okay, this would have been another entry right here. So you don't get these a lot when price just immediately retests a broken level. All right. So if you guys see this and it's around this time and the strength is on your side, press that trigger. You feel me? Just be mindful of where you're at, what time you are, what time it is, and then yeah, just have faith in your plan and then just execute. So this would have been another entry right here. Broke right through that major level, came back up. This would have been a safer entry if you guys didn't see this lower high happen. So it broke through, came back up, retested it. Nice rejection right there, and then just tanked. All right. It had some trouble coming all the way down. All right. So if you can hop out of the 5-minute, hop on the hour, see what happened. So basically, just consolidated, right, for a while. That caused it to pull back up. This is your second chance entry. Second chance entry right there. Came shy of the major level, but price doesn't always have to come back to the same exact number. That's where you can draw a box around that area to signify the major area instead of the major point only. All right. So if it came shy and still had that reaction he was looking for, that could have been another entry for you. Plus, it did not make a higher high. So it made a lower low again, came back to the same level, and then just dropped again. I had some trouble going back down from this point. However, you was still safe because price was still making its lower lows and lower highs. It did not once make a higher high yet or a higher low. So once you see this right here, came back up and made a lower low. So lower than this low. So at this point, you're safe, right? At this point, I thought it was really good to just continue going down. But this mid-level actually saved it from tanking. All right. So at this point, you could have had an entry right here. I personally wouldn't because it's too far from my opponent entries. Plus, the risk to reward isn't that great either. So I think this is 30 pips up. You would have it to have a safe stop loss, and your TP, even if it was a mid level, would have been 25 pips. So that's shy of that's less than your stop loss. And then if you were to take it all the way down to the next level, that would have been more than your stop loss, but you're still at risk of 30 pips being lost. So you either have to cut your lot size down or just not get into your trade at all and just wait for your next opportunity. All right. So me, I would just wait for my next opportunity because I don't really, like that. It's just a confirmation for me, like to stay into the trade. So once I make a lower high, right? Confirmation, stay in the trade. And then I thought it was gonna take from here. So this was this morning. Came up. I thought like this wick right here, I was sure it was gonna tank, but kept consolidating, and then later it just kept pushing up. So on an hour, I think this was around the same time in the beginning of the week where price pushed up as well, right? So I guess it's a form of a double bottom, right? Nonetheless, this price was a major support. That's why it shot up. Hop on the 15-minute again. So it's kind of tough to get out of a good trade, or you think that it's going to be a good trade, right? You got to realize when the trend is over, the trend is over. So you should take out your profit or just move your stop loss into break even or profit. All right. So as you can see, price came up, reacted to the mid level under it, came back down, right? But when I noticed it did not make a lower high, okay, it didn't make a lower low, so it didn't breach this point right here. So it even double bottom at all. It just made a higher low. So it didn't come near this area of a higher low. All right. So it didn't come near here. All right. If it was gonna keep going down, you would have needed a break of that level. And a retest of it. So another lower low and another lower high. All right. So this would have been, a detection of like, all right, cool, it might reverse at this point, but I didn't think, it was gonna break through. So I just waited to see if it's gonna reject up this mid level again. And as you can see, it did a breakthrough, came back down and retested. At this point, I took my profit and just let it run. All right. I could have gotten for a buy too, but I didn't want to be greedy. So I just came back down. It came back down and I just took my profit right there because it came back up and rejected that point. So AKA a higher high and a higher low. So a higher high and a higher low was created, two of them actually. And then that signifies, a start of an uptrend. As you can see, it kept going up, came to this rejection point, came back down, it made a higher high, came back down, made a lower low, a big rejection off the support zone that was what's resistance. All right, came back up, higher high, higher low, and then just kept going up, going up, going up. So currently, right now the market's closed. It's not really doing anything. It's just chilling. So it came back down at the support zone. All right. So on Sunday, I will go over, what to look for buys or sells for the market coming up for the week. All right. So make sure you catch that on Sunday. All right. But for now, like, I hope you guys are not in trades right now because market's about to close in 2 hours. All right. But if you was in the buy, all right, just put your stop loss in profit or take profit or break even. All right. But I'm pretty sure none of you guys wanted to buy. This was like a, take profit zone. So yeah. Yeah, I wish this would have tanked more. I was really expecting it to take more, get a comp 100 pips for Friday, but it just came down to 50 pips. So I'm not complaining, still bread. Still made money. So it's all good. All right. If this was like a regular market right now, like maybe New York, this would have been a strong support zone. So this would have been a potential buy zone as well, right? It is a buy zone currently, but like you don't want to buy anything right now or sell anything right now. The market's about to close, so there's really no point. Market's not gonna do anything. But for like learning purposes, right? As you can see, right here was resistance, came down, draw it out, came back here, reacted to this same resistance, became support, right? Made a couple higher highs, higher lows before coming back down and testing it as support again. So if it does keep going up, then we can challenge this 1.37 level, either break it or just come down and tank like it did over here. All right. You will need a little bit more for a reversal pattern. As you guys know, a 1-2-3 pattern, consolidation, evening star, something to signify a sort of reversal, and then a confirmation of that reversal. All right. So that would be, went over on Sunday pre-market setup. All right. So that's just a little recap on GU. Does anybody have any questions before I move on? I'm about to go on GJ. GJ was pretty similar. GJ gave nobody no chances to get in no trade. So it was pretty much all GU this week for me personally. But I'm gonna go on to GJ. I hop on an hour. Like I said, all the GBP pairs, or the one that I was trading GU and GJ, did a rally in the beginning of the week. So as you can see on the 1 hour, this huge rally. All right, GJ was mad dramatic this week, so volatile. Hop on a 15-minute real quick to see some entries we could have got into. Very similar to GU, as you can see. Came to the mid-level, same thing as GU, right? Came back up, did a little double bottom, right? If you wanted to be aggressive enter there, that would have been a good entry. During New York, the start of New York, so 8 o'clock, right? Good entry, very volatile session. And if you would have saw JPY weakness and GBP strength, that would have been another good indication for you to get into that buy. All right. So it came back here, reacted to this lower high, this last lower high it created, came back down, didn't quite test that mid-level, but it came to the area of it. So, that's another confirmation in my book. It can come around that area, not the same exact price all the time. So if you draw a little rectangular box, as you can see, it touched it, came back up, made a little lower high. If you can hop on a 5-minute, and we can see it better. Yeah, pretty much consolidation on top of it, and then just shot up due to strength. All right. So it didn't really give you much to go by, right? It just kind of slanted out, right, during the slow sessions. Last lower high, could have drawn this out right here. Price whipped at 17.55. That was probably the close. Came up. This is 19. So yeah, GJ really gave me no chances to enter, because normally it's like too early for me to even enter a trade at 19 military time. So like usually I enter like right before London at 1 o'clock or 2, or like even like the earliest I'll go is like 11 or 12, right? But 9 o'clock is not an ideal time to enter. But like JPY was so weak that it just shot up. So it didn't really care what time it was. Not volatile time or not volatile time. It just kept going up, right? Didn't even make lower lows and lower high. Just kept pushing up, mad imbalance. So this, if you guys was in the trade, like when it first started over here, you would have been happy. But yeah, like I see no place to even enter a trade. I didn't want to just enter because it was just going up. I was waiting for your tracement. Like even here, I was expecting the tracement at least back to the major level, but it gave me no chances. So it finally stopped at the mid level of 141,500. So it stopped at the mid level of 141,500. All right. So what day was this? This was Wednesday. 1720. Still very early. I think that's, I don't even know, 14. I know that's very early for even a trade. I'm not even looking at my charts at this time. All right. But nonetheless, like if this was like a very volatile time or coming up, like London, and then made a wick right here, aka high or low, right on that mid level, that could have been another entry, right? But due to time, that I'm not even playing that. It could wick all it want. It could go up all it want, but I'm just gonna follow my plan and get into the trade at the right time, right? So JPY was very, 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 very weak, as you can see. So it finally, came back to this 142 level that previously got topped last week and the week before, right? So it broke through. I thought it was gonna keep going up at this point because JPY was so weak and GBP was strong during the whole week. All right, hop on a 1 hour to see you know what exactly it rejected at. All right, where so yeah, it was just wicking all at 142.220. And as you can see, there's a lot of previous wicks as it came up too. So it came up with a lot of force, but it failed to hold that support. The 142 level failed to hold that support. All right. So this would have been a sell zone right here. You would have, you know, gotten to the sell if you've seen a lot of consolidation or a lower low happening. Hop on a 15-minute to see exactly what time and trade you could have got into. So right here, time was this? 4:45. So this is like the first start of it. This wouldn't have been a bad entry, right? If it, you know, wicked a little bit more down, right? And you didn't see a lot of wicks either. So you only had one wick and then just bodies touching the level. So if you would have seen this wick, it would have been a bad entry, but you just want to see more confirmations on that level for a sell. Plus, you know, and making a higher high, higher low, right? Made a higher low. So you would need a double top of some sort, and which it did. So that would have been the correct way to go about it, is to wait for the double top instead of the rejection on the major level, right? So it made a double top consolidation as well, and this was during the late New York session. So I couldn't even get an entry right there because that's like pretty much the time I get out of the trade, like 10 o'clock, 10, 11, or 12. I get out the trade, right? Depending how it's moving. So as you can see, it didn't really go further down, right? Came back up, consolidated during agent session, so triple top. So around here would have been a perfect entry, right? So anywhere from around here, well, maybe from 19 all the way down, right? So if I saw this, which I did, right, especially at 20, which is like 10 o'clock, no, not 10 o'clock. I really don't know, but it's close to London session. So this would have been a good time to enter, right? And then another good time to enter would have been this lower high right here. So one right here at the start, triple top, and then another lower high that was created from that triple top. Just another confirmation, right? And as you can see, if you wanted another confirmation, you could have had it come back to this 142 level and retest on the bottom of it and then wick out, but it came shy of it, so you probably would have missed your entry. All right, so this would have been a nice entry right here, another nice entry, and then it tanked for 50 pips, right? So the reason it stopped, right, it hesitated around, it didn't even come down to this 141.500 level, all right? So hop on a 1 hour real quick. This was a level where it consolidated at and shut up. Another time it made a higher low and then shut up. So this was bound to react as well. So I was expecting you know, to react and then make a lower high for another entry, but it just made a higher high and then a higher low, right? So that's a confirmation to get out of the trade. And then if you were, you know, trying to buy at that level, that would have been a confirmation for you to get into the trade, right? But like I said, GJ was so volatile, it was like really, really hard to see. So if you've seen this, like right here, higher low right there, I mean lower high right there, tanked again. So right here, I probably got out somewhere around here too. This is the start of London too. So if you was you know, holding that trade in from Friday, going to London. No, I didn't even trade GJ. No, what I'm talking about. Yeah, I didn't get into no trade for GJ because of the timing. Timing was weird. That's why I'm so confused. Yeah, the timing was so weird. Came all the way down during London, well, during the start of London, and then came back up. 3 o'clock was like the opening. Shot up on this level right here. Shot up, came back down. So it double bottomed over here, and this level was support. So it was a strong support. That's what caused the rally going back up. So yeah, GJ was very weird. I remember I didn't trade that much. So I basically trade GU all week, and then not really much going on, to be honest. I really missed that rally. That would have been the big one. I would have been done for the week. I really did not expect this rally to happen, but you know, it's a learning curve, so it's all good. It's all good. Is there any pair that you guys want me to go over before I hop off this? All right. I know we did a poll the other day. We went over entry just now, so I hope that helped. Let me see what else you guys had trouble with. Help tracking trades and help on targets. All right, yeah, we talked about targets as well. I usually put let's say my mid level is my entry, right? I usually put the next major level, or if you know, it was a good starting point during London, right? And you know, price was pushing up heavy, momentum was pushing up heavy. I would have, you know, had my TP1 here and then another entry on a, let me show you right here. Hold on. Right, TP1 would have been this major level right here to be safe. Came back up. If it retested, this would have been my TB2. All right, so it's either mid-level to major level or mid-level to mid-level, to next mid-level. So 100 pips or 50 pips, usually. All right, so if it was if you wanted like a, you know, safer stop loss, or not stop loss, a safer TP, right? You could have went up to the consolidation zone it and made. So you can see you made lower lows, lower highs. I mean higher highs or higher lows, broke through, right? This could have been your safe zone to get out the trade if you guys, you know, saw some wick action going on or consolidation at that same level. That's normally, you know, a clue to get out the trade. All right, probably gonna take. It's probably gonna tank and hit this 1.37 level, and either break it or tap it and then continue going bullish. All right, but nonetheless, this would have been a safer TP to have. All right, so all you have to do is look to the left and find points of reversals or consolidation. All right, but to make it easier, I just do it to level. All right, and during the time, like if it's about to close like 12 o'clock, I just close my trade if it's not around my major level at all or my TP. All right, and help on tracking trades. So the way I track my trades, I'm gonna use Geo as an example. The way I track my trades is identifying higher highs and higher lows on a lower time frame. So either 15-minute or 5-minute. I usually use a 5-minute. All right. So let's say, let's use the beginning of the week as an example. Actually, I'm gonna just draw it out. So the way I track my trade, let's say I entered right on this major level right here. It did some type of double bottom, or you know, just kept pushing up. Right. It makes some beautiful higher highs and higher lows. So as you guys know, as long as it makes higher highs and higher lows, it will forever be an uptrend. All right. So this is a way you can get another entry as well. You can just stack your trades if you wish. All right. But I don't really recommend that. I just recommend like you tracking it, just making sure, you know, it's keep going bullish, and then just have that one good entry where you don't have to worry about, you know, a big stop loss. All right. So as you can see, this consolidation zone was resistance, aka broke up, came back down, and tested it as support. So I draw a little box around it to signify the area. As long as that area is being touched and wicked and keep pushing up, then it's confirmed as an uptrend. So let's keep pushing up. So as you can see, made another higher high, reacted, came back to the same area, came back up, broke through, and then came back down to retest. So as long as I keep doing this and I just keep looking to the left and drawing this little area points, and it keeps reacting to those area points, I can stay in the trade. Now, as soon as it does something like this, path. All right. So as if it does something like this, consolidates or something, breaks through the last lower high, the last higher low, aka support, and it comes back up and tests as resistance, then that could be a clue or a confirmation to get out the trade. All right. So I know it's kind of hard to get out of a good trade. You don't want to get out out of trade, but think about it this way: you don't want to lose your profit that you worked hard to track. You feel me? You got the entry, you got the tracking bullishness going up, and then it comes shy of your stop loss. It comes shy of your TP, and then it makes a break and then a retest going the opposite way. You should just get out. All right. Even though it could go back up, right? You never know. So that's just an indication of getting out the trade, all right? And just playing it safe. So this is what we could do. Continue making lower lows and lower highs and come back to your starting point. All right. So that's pretty much like during, Asian session. So that's like called the Asian fade. So it fades down back to your starting point or another point of interest for the, opposite reversal. All right. So with that being said, if anybody has no questions, this is pretty much it. All right. Hope this helped you guys on Sunday. Hope to see you guys for the pre-market setup. All right. Go over some pairs that we can get into for the week coming up. All right. So if anybody has any questions, I'm gonna hop off this and I'm gonna see you guys back.